Hello and welcome to another episode of the Veterans Corner. My name is Chuck Wood and I'll be your host. I'm joined by a co-host, Donna Dunyan. And Donna, we took the summer off.
Yep.
We want to let the viewers know, welcome back. You missed some of
I took the spring off.
for personal
issues, yeah.
issues. And we had Megan Dooley, who was here.
She did a great job.
Yeah, we want to definitely say that she did a fantastic job. And she went to bigger, better things in radio up in upstate New York.
Good luck, Megan, if you're watching.
We want to thank you very much for your time, your contribution to the show. So with that being said, let's get into, we are starting the fall rotation. This is September of 2023.
Yes.
We do have to say that because sometimes these are aired at, many times afterwards. So we've got a lot of great shows lined up. We're happy to be back serving the viewers and the veteran community. We do have a guest here today who's no stranger to this show. Actually, both of you have been on this show for years.
So why do we keep him around?
It's just, we'll talk about that after the show. Where was I? Thanks a lot.
You're welcome. Sorry, I threw him off.
Now, we got Renee Buffard from Healing Hoofbeats. And Renee's been on the show a number of times, you and Nikki. I know Nikki couldn't make it today. Hope she feels better. Renee is the founder of Healing Hoofbeats. She's the executive director and licensed therapist, equine professional. I'm glad you put all those there because all those letters, every time you're on a show, I don't know what those letters are. So I'm glad you spelled it out for people like me. So thanks, and thanks for being here. It's great to see you. We're going to have an update on Healing Hoofbeats, Operation Warrior Horse, and another addition to the Warrior Horse family. We'll talk about that. Let's jump into it. There's a lot of information to cover in a short period of time. So
can you give the viewers that haven't seen you on the show before a little bit of a history and the background about Healing Hoofbeats?
Sure. So Healing Hoofbeats is an equine and animal supported psychotherapy organization. We're in Bethlehem, Connecticut on 7.5 acres. And I started Healing Hoofbeats back in 2016. So we've been, this is our 7th year now. And so we work with people all along the lifespan, all the way from, toddlerhood to the geriatric community. We work with people with special needs, and we also work with veterans.
Awesome.
now prior to going down to Bethlehem, you also have another facility in Morris, don't you?
That was where we were first,
Yeah.
before our Bethlehem. Now we just use that for our events.
Okay.
Yeah.
Which we'll talk about
Yes,
later on in the show. Operation Warrior Horse. That's the main thing we've been talking about. And that right there. Can you tell the viewers a little bit about Operation Warrior Horse, the mission statement? How long that's been around?
Yes. So Nicole and I created Operation Warrior Horse in 2017. And it is, historically, it has been a group therapy for veterans with the horses. And we started it because we felt as though no veteran should have to pay for or have to search for services in order to heal from their invisible wounds that have been incurred during service time. And so we have typically run it 2 to 3 times a year and for 10 weeks at a time. And we are actually going to shift that a little bit. What we have realized is that everybody who is coming to us for group therapy also could really, really benefit from individual therapy. And so we are transitioning Operation Warrior Horse from just a program to more of a scholarship fund. And so that is going to be able to provide low to no cost individual and group therapy for our veterans.
Nice. I had the the honor, the pleasure to be down there. Once I was taking pictures.
Yes.
Some of the
Yep.
Penny.
Yeah.
Penny's still around.
Penny is still around and kicking.
Yeah. The cats. The cats. When I was shooting the pictures, they seemed to know I was doing it, and they were posing on top of it.
Yeah.
They were just-
And now we have even more cats.
So is the transition from the therapy groups, the group therapy, to the scholarship fund, where's the funding coming from?
So we do a lot of grant writing.
Yeah.
We look for a lot of grants. We have a lot of community partners, whether it's corporations or individuals. And then we have a huge event that we do every year, which all the funds go towards funding Operation Warrior Horse.
Nice. Nice.
So with the transition to the more individual focused, are you still going to do the group therapy? And how
Yes.
does that how's all of that going to work?
Yeah, so we will, we are going to start off by providing individual therapy, and then we are going to do 2 times a year, those that are with us for individual therapy will get to participate in the group therapy, and then it's just going to enhance their healing.
So how long will that group therapy session last?
Each group therapy session is 8 weeks.
Oh, okay. All right. So that won't change. It's just individual first and then dive into the whole group pool.
Yeah. Yep.
Got it.
And that way they have more time and more therapy under their belt as opposed to just jumping into group therapy.
So do you have a name for this individualized therapy?
Nope, it's
No?
still going to be Operation Warrior Horse.
Okay. So I heard a rumor about Operation Warrior Pony. What's this
Yes.
about?
So that is a little spin-off on our Operation Warrior Horse. And so this group is for children of service people.
Awesome.
Yes. And so
Awesome.
we are offering that. It actually, the first day that it starts is September 25th. It's going to run for 6 weeks. And it allows children of elementary age that are children of service members to pop in. You know, we understand that sometimes home life and living with a veteran or a service person can be difficult. And so we are going to help them learn the skills to manage different things and to understand, you know, some, you know, travel a lot while their parent is in the service. And so we talk a little bit about that, what that's like to transition so much between homes. We talk about how can we manage different emotions around all that kind of stuff. How might it feel different for you as a child of a service person, and maybe your parent's deployed or is going to be deployed, you know, and how do we manage our feelings around that? And so we found that there was a really big need for children of service members, and so we were super excited to start this group.
I can imagine there is, especially when deployment time comes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And they're I mean, young age, they're witnessing one of their parents, you know, leave for, you know, 9 months to a year.
There's a lot of
There's
big
gotta-
emotions around that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
I'm sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt. But are you focusing on children of current clients that you have? Or are you going into school systems and trying to promote it that way? So maybe you get some newer families in that
Yeah.
aren't necessarily existing clients.
No, it doesn't need to be existing clients.
Okay.
So we are all, we do have several existing clients that we are going to invite into it, but we are also going into the schools and into the community
Awesome.
to really publicize it.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah.
Love it.
how are they receiving that right now? Do you have a list, or is there already a waiting list? Is it
I wouldn't call it a waiting list,
Yeah.
but we do have a good chunk of
base?
kids.
Good
Yeah.
base.
Yeah, and hopefully, my hope is that it takes off and it does well, and we can continue to do it throughout the year.
Okay. When does that officially kick off?
September
Oh,
25th,
that's right,
so
you
a week
said.
from today.
And how long does that program last? 8 weeks again?
6
or
weeks.
6 weeks. Okay.
So you must have added on to the farm up there.
Shocking. Oh, yes, actually, we
I forgot
do.
how many horses. I know you had three horses.
We have 4 horses, 2 big guys and 2 little guys.
Okay.
And then we have 4 goats So the addition was a therapy pig. Super exciting. Her name is Hazel, and she's pretty amazing.
Hazel.
And then we've got 7 cats. And
7.
7.
There used to be, what, 3?
Yeah,
I haven't been up.
Right.
I need to go up.
you do need to.
I know.
Yeah, 7
know.
cats. They keep multiplying. And too many chickens for me to actually count anymore. And then Penny the therapy dog.
Yeah, I remember when you first got Penny.
That was 6 years ago.
You were over in Harwington.
Yep.
Isn't that when you got Penny?
Yeah.
I remember going to Bethlehem, and I mean, it's just such a friendly. It's a pit bull.
Yes, she's a pit bull.
You know, it's. We had talked about this so many times on this show. What the benefits of animals have on therapeutic. Therapeutic help. Intervention. There you go. It was. I knew what I wanted to say, but it just wasn't coming out.
That's okay.
I mean, you've had great responses from from clients.
Yes.
You know, with the horses and the goats, and now a pig.
And now a pig.
And now a pig.
Yeah. Yeah. So it doesn't matter who we're working with,
Yeah.
who our client is. Our philosophy is always the same. That whatever has happened in our life has happened in the context of relationships,
Yeah.
and so being able to maintain healthy, mutually beneficial relationships is really how we begin to heal. So the relationship is that vehicle for change and healing. And because people are often coming to us from not necessarily healthy relationships or healthy situations, that can be hard to do that with another human. So the animal really helps us to bridge that gap and to make that transition. So that's why I say that the animals are really the vehicle for this work.
I've heard this so many times. You like, once again, you've been on the show the most. There was one group. Well, as far as therapeutic equine therapy and all that, we did have one group years ago that it might have been the first ones that were affiliated with Middlesex Hospital, and they were in Middletown.
Yes.
Down off Randolph Road somewhere.
Means and motions.
Yes. I think it was Maria. I think it was a while ago, and I actually went down there. And it was funny because I've never been around horses. We're standing there, and all of a sudden she handed me the rope, the rein, whatever, and she took a picture of me. And I look like, what am I doing here?
Yeah.
I've got this 1,100 pound, 1,200 pound, and I'm going to stop this. But you do, because they're so friendly. I mean, I can see where they're very beneficial therapeutically.
Absolutely.
And with the horses, what type of work do you do? Do they ride? Do they just work with the horses? Because I know different programs throughout the state do different things.
Yes, absolutely. So we do unmounted work, so there is no riding component to it, and that really is because the horses that we have right now just aren't capable of that.
Okay. That's right.
But so it's all unmounted, and so Operation Warrior Horse, our group therapy, has a curriculum that we stick to, and each week builds upon the next. And Operation Warrior Pony will kind of do the same. But when people come to us for individual therapy, we really start with what does a good relationship look like? And how do we attain that with the animal of your choosing? And some people can list 5 different things, and then we talk about how could you do that and engage with your animal in that way.
Okay.
Other people may not be able to find those healthy, positive relationship qualities, and then so we talk about the opposite.
Yeah.
What are the not so good things, and then how do we do the opposite and create the opposite?
I definitely have to come down.
Yes, you do.
I'll take an allergy pill and I will come down.
That's right. I forgot.
Okay, yes, that's my killer.
And a lot of times when it's mounted, I mean, they're being guided.
Sometimes, yeah. And there are other places that will teach like horseback riding skills and all of that kind of stuff. And so that can be incorporated into different programs. We just really focus on the mental health.
Yeah. We were talking about events. Now, I know you have an event coming up in the fall. I actually went to it 2 years ago. No, or was it the first one? Time flies. Yeah, it might have been the first one.
I think it was 2019. See, you have to come.
Yeah, yeah, and this is the fourth annual.
Yes.
I'm going to make it a point. Matter of fact, before we even start talking about it, what's the date?
Yeah, everybody
So it is October 14th, and it is our 4th annual Trailblazers event.
Yeah. It was a good time. I know you had sponsored a lot of rides into White Memorial. You had all kinds of other events. What else did you have at the Trailblazer event?
So our Trailblazers event is a nice hike through White Memorial Foundation trails, and it's in Morris at one of our old farms that we used to be at. So it's a hike through the woods, come back to the farm, and you get to enjoy food, music, beverages, raffles, and a bunch of yard games, and it's just a really fun, family-friendly day.
Now, there's flyers out there, obviously.
Yes.
There has to be.
Yes.
And we'll make sure
We'll
we
get it
that
out.
and
Yep.
post that on the
We'll get it
Veterans
on our
Corner
page.
page. And
Awesome.
now that we're up and running again, it'll be the first thing that we put on there.
What are the hours for the event, just so everyone knows?
Yep. So it is from 11 a.m. until 2 p.m. Registration, or I should say sign in, starts at 10:30, and so we step off the farm at 11 for the hike.
Now, if people want to come and support it but can't necessarily do the hike, is there
don't have to.
activities to be going on while everyone else is out hiking?
Yeah, so there's all of the yard games,
Okay.
you know, a bunch of different things. There won't be any music until everybody comes back from the hike, but
Okay.
there is definitely things to engage in at the farm, and most of our animals will be there too.
Now, if any of our viewers would like to volunteer, do you need volunteers? Do you look for volunteers? And what can they do for you?
Yes, well, running a farm is a lot of work.
Come on.
And there are always things to be done. So we are looking for volunteers anywhere from people who want to get their hands dirty and help with farm chores, all the way through somebody who might want to support us through fundraising or through development. And we are also looking for board members.
Ah,
I was just
okay.
going to say you got committees. And
Yes,
Yeah.
we do. So there's many different ways to volunteer and support us.
So labor intensive or support staff kind of
Yes.
things. Okay.
Yes.
This event, just for the viewers, I mean, it's a great way just to kick back, relax, and support. There's so many things to do on that day, if not just sit in a chair and enjoy the fresh air and the animals around you.
Yeah.
And the new pig.
She's not going to be able to come. I
Oh,
haven't figured out how to get her, like,
How
to
big is she?
transport her. I'd say she's 70 pounds. She's not, like, massive, but she's not small.
okay.
Penny will be there.
Penny will be there. Most of the horses will be there, and the goats will be there.
I know you've got the paddock there out front.
Yep.
See that terminology? I remember.
Look at you. Make a horse guy out of you.
Yeah,
after
that
all.
was. I actually got up on. Remember Donna? Brought her over when you were in Howington.
Yes.
I actually jumped up on hers, and I mean she's short, and the stirrups and all that. I mean my knees were in my chest, and it was, and I guess they're different sizes. Of course, my feet. There was no. I couldn't. I was pretty uncomfortable.
Was it like riding a horse from the carousel?
That might have been more
It
comfortable.
looks like that.
You know, I was like this. I never made it back up to actually one of the other horses that I could actually fit on. Her horse is huge. And that's another thing. If you're not used to horses,
You're big.
I've never been on a horse. I got up on top of, Diego is her horse's name, and that was intimidating at first. If you're not used to it.
Yeah, if you're not used to it.
You're used to it. I mean, for me, it was like, and I'm a little bit taller, so you're sitting even higher and then with your knees in your chest, and but it's a lot of fun. I used to like going up to where those horses are and just watch. It was a lot of fun.
Yeah.
How do the viewers get in touch with you if they want to volunteer?
You can head over to our website,
Yeah.
which they are putting up on the screen, right? Do I need? Yeah.
It's there. It's there.
Great. So it's www.healinghoofbeatsofct.org.
And we'll put that on our Facebook page. I'll do that this evening.
And then all information about everything that we have going on is on our website, and then it's also on our social medias too.
Good.
So.
Good. I remember when you first started off. It was, 2016.
Yeah.
I started this in 2013.
Not far off.
No.
Yeah.
No. You guys have come a long ways. We've come a long ways here over time. And it's been a great partnership, having you guys come in here and talk about it. We learn something. I learn something every time you come in.
Well, that's great.
So I mean, we've got a few more minutes. Is there anything else what other services do you, huh?
That's like you're putting me on the spot.
We'll go to a commercial.
So I would say aside from our individual therapy that we have, we also run a teen and tween girls group, which is called Girl Power.
Yep.
That also starts on the 25th. We've got a couple of events coming up and fundraisers coming up in the winter months, so that would be something to look out for as well.
Where would that be?
We are hoping to do them at some like local indoor places, like a restaurant
Halls
or a
or-
brewery or
yeah.
something like that, to kind of keep us all warm and stuff.
I like the brewery idea.
Yeah. So, there you go.
We've got plenty of those around. So
Oh my God, they're a dime a dozen.
look at all the fundraisers you can do.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Have
Yeah.
one at each place.
Yeah. So everything that we raise goes right back into our programs and being able to help everyone, whether it's our veterans program or our other programs. So every little bit counts.
How's been the participation with Operation Warrior Horse?
Good.
It's been growing.
Yeah.
I know in the beginning it was maybe half a dozen.
So we like to keep our groups to that amount because if it's too many, then it can be tough to really gain all the benefits, and we want to be able to really help everybody as an individual. And then if it's too little, then there's not enough group engagement. So 6 is like our good number.
It just popped into my head too. I mean, you don't have a horse for every one of the.
Nope.
So.
They have to share.
They have to share.
They have to share.
Yeah.
Well, we got 2 minutes left. As always, these shows go by so fast.
You do.
It was great having you back.
Thank you for having me again.
And obviously you'll be back again for updates because there's always updates.
There you go. Yeah.
We always like talking about the farm and the horses, and now we got a couple more additional animals to talk about.
Yeah. You gotta come and see them all.
The benefits of equine therapy and animal therapy is been tried and tested. I mean, it's a very successful form of therapy. So if there's anyone out there, I mean, obviously everything's confidential.
Yes.
Matter of fact, I wanted to come up and watch one time, and even I couldn't come up and
Yeah, I
watch.
told you no.
Yeah, and rightfully so. And rightfully so.
Yeah.
But I mean, it's the point I was making is, don't be afraid to take advantage of an opportunity like this. It's a great form of therapy. It could benefit you tremendously. So, with that being said, we got about 30 seconds left. I want to thank some of our sponsors, the mugs. We got the VFW out of Hartford, Post 254. We want to thank them for giving a sizable donation for the mugs. And a buddy of mine, actually, Bruce Kaczynski, who picked up the rest of it, and Pam Shea for one of the POW flag. We're always looking for help on the Veterans Corner, donations to purchase like mugs and stuff like that. With that being said, thank you again. It was great seeing you.
Yes.
Look forward to the next time. Donna?
That's it.
That's it.
That's all we got.
Thanks for watching. Good night, and see you the next time on the Veterans Corner.